Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Man, I had a really good time with this movie. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, and while I don't think it's better than the first Super Mario Bros. Movie, I do think it comes very, very close. And honestly, the fact that it even gets close is incredible because this movie is bigger, more cosmic, and a lot more franchise heavy than the first one. For me, the biggest reason this movie falls just shy of the first one is the focus. The first film felt a little tighter emotionally because it was really centered on Mario and Luigi, their brotherhood, their identity, and them working together. This movie spreads itself out a lot more. It gives Princess Peach a much bigger role, and in a lot of ways, this is almost more of a Peach movie than it is a Mario movie. That's not necessarily a bad thing because I liked Peach a lot in this movie, but it does make the title of the movie feel a little less earned. It feels less like Super Mario Galaxy and more like a giant Nintendo-flavored Mario Universe movie. Still, even with that complaint, if you can call it that, I had a blast with this movie. Quick heads up, this review will contain spoilers because there are some really cool characters that I want to talk about. The basic story here is simple enough, but it works. Rosalina gets captured, Princess Peach goes on a journey to rescue her, Bowser Jr. breaks Bowser out while Peach is away, and then Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi end up trying to catch up as everything spirals into this bigger galactic adventure. What I liked is that even though this movie has multiple storylines going on all at once, it still keeps things moving in a way that is fun and easy to follow with. You've got Peach and Toad on their mission, Mario and Luigi trying to keep up with everything, Bowser dealing with his son and getting pulled back into his villainous instincts, and then all of that gets wrapped into this bigger cosmic Mario world full of cameos, planets, creatures, and Nintendo teases. And I think that's one of the movie's biggest strengths. It understands that this world is just genuinely fun to be in. I was smiling at how much love there clearly is for the games. If you grew up with Mario like me, playing Super Mario Galaxy, then there is a lot here to enjoy. The planets, the scale, the Lumas, the Honey Queen, Mega Leg, the little background references, the Easter eggs, the cameos. It just feels like this movie knows exactly who it's made for. It feels like a reward for spending years of playing these games. And I've got to talk about the characters because this is another area where the movie excels. Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, and Jack Black as Bowser are still a really fun core. Whatever people say about the casting overall, I think these choices work really well. They fit the tone of these movies. Charlie Day especially continues to be great as Luigi because there's always this nervous, frantic energy to him that feels very natural. Jack Black is just having the time of his life as Bowser, and that energy still carries over in this movie. I also really liked Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. As I said, she has a much bigger role in this movie, and while that may change the balance of the story, I think she carries a lot of that weight very well. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad continues to be one of the most consistently funny and lovable parts of this universe, and Donald Glover as Yoshi was a really fun addition. I love the introduction of him, and I'm really interested in seeing more of him going forward. The biggest pleasant surprise for me, though, was Rosalina. Brie Larson as Rosalina really worked for me. I liked her presence, I liked her calm power, and I liked the way she added a slightly different tone to the movie. There's almost this mythic, regal energy to help her sell the bigger cosmic scope. My main complaint is honestly that I really wish we would have gotten some more of her. She's one of those characters where once she shows up, there's just so much more that you realize could be done with her. And then there's Fox McCloud. I love the Fox cameo. Glenn Powell's Fox McCloud was one of the coolest surprises in the entire movie. He's the kind of character that instantly makes you start thinking about where this universe could go next. I would absolutely watch a Fox spin-off. I'd watch a spin-off of Zelda, Link, Kirby, Pit, Ness, Lucas, Yoshi. There are so many characters that could fit into this world who I'd love to see some more of. This movie feels like Nintendo and Illumination realizing that they've got a billion-dollar franchise on their hands. That is both a good thing and a bad thing. One of the bad things is that this movie definitely feels like it skips a step. After the first movie, this second movie probably should have expanded the world in a more grounded way before going full Galaxy. Galaxy is such a huge concept. It's bigger, more fantastical, more cosmic, and naturally it comes with more characters, more moving pieces, and more sequel bait. And while I enjoyed all of that, it definitely feels like we went from point A to point C or D. That brings me to the villain side of things. I liked Wart being in this movie, but I do think he's a little underused. And I'll be honest, at first I mixed him up with King K. Rool. Once I cleared that up in my head, it actually made me even more convinced that King K. Rool should be saved for something bigger later on. Again, I liked Wart in this movie, but he could have been a lot more threatening here. I wanted him to feel a little bit bigger, meaner, and more dangerous. Especially in a movie where Peach and Rosalina are so strong, the villain kind of really needs to rise to that level. That's probably my biggest criticism in this movie overall, and it's the power scaling. Peach and Rosalina are so overpowered that it rarely feels like they're truly in danger. This movie has to lean a lot on plot conveniences pushes a little too much to create tension for them, and you can start to feel that. By no means does this ruin the movie, but it definitely softens the stakes. When your heroes are that powerful, you need a really truly terrifying villain or some kind of limitation that makes the threat feel more real. That makes me even more curious about the future, because who do you even bring in now to challenge these characters? While I like Bowser and Bowser Jr., I don't want to see them again as the big bads. I think someone like King Boo could be amazing. In fact, King Boo might be my #1 choice right now. He'd be visually awesome, creepy, distinct, and powerful in a way that feels a little more different than Bowser. I also think a pair like Wario or Waluigi could be fun. Someone like Ganondorf would be huge, but then again, you're really opening the entire Zelda door. Some other possibilities are King K. Rool, Count Bleck, Fawful, Cacletta, Shadow Queen, or Dimentio. A big part of the fun in this movie is that it gets your imagination going. You start fantasy booking the future of the franchise as it's growing. In terms of animation, this movie is absolutely ridiculous. It looks incredibly flawless to me. The rendering, the lighting, the color, the texture work, the scale of everything, the way the planets look, the way the characters move, the way the environments glow, it all looks fantastic. I know a lot of people like to debate which animation studio is the best, but Illumination has really carved out a lane where they know how to make bright, kinetic, polished spectacle that just pops off the screen. And in a world like Mario, that style fits perfectly. This is one of those movies where I constantly noticed how good everything looks. Peach, Mario, Bowser, Rosalina, the Lumas, Yoshi, all of it. The tone and mood of the movie are sold so heavily through the animation. It captures that galactic beauty from the games without making it feel cold or empty. It still feels playful, it still feels magical, it still feels like Mario. The music and the overall scale of the movie worked for me too. This thing moves fast, but in a good way. It feels energetic, it feels big, it feels celebratory, and because the runtime is only 99 minutes, the movie never overstays its welcome. That's another reason why I had such a good time with it. It understands that it's supposed to be fun, colorful, quick, constantly moving, and never boring. And that matters because this is not the deepest movie ever made. It's not trying to be, it's just a simple family movie. It's a fast-moving animated adventure that wants to entertain kids, longtime Mario fans, and general audiences all at once, and I think it does that really well. I do think it's worth mentioning as a comparison that this movie is a little bit slower than the first Super Mario Bros. Movie. I like that because the original was a little bit too much of a blur. So if you were hoping for some more breathing room, this sequel gives it to you. Finally, I want to mention that I like the emotional threads that we did get. Bowser's story with Bowser Jr. was interesting because it gives Bowser just enough of a shift to make him feel a little more layered, but then his son pulling him back toward villainy is really fun. It gives the storyline a little bit more personality than if Bowser was just evil again. I also love the Daisy tease at the end. I'm interested in seeing how she fits into this broader universe. Again, this movie leaves me excited. I think that's one of the biggest compliments I can pay a franchise movie, because even with my complaints and nitpicks, I still walked out of this movie thinking, wow, I want to see some more of this. I want more Rosalina, I want more Fox McCloud, I want more Yoshi, I want more Luma weirdness, I want more weird planets, I want King Boo, I want King K. Rool, I want Wario and Waluigi, and I want the Koopalings. I want to see how far Nintendo can keep pushing this universe while still being coherent. Overall, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is just a really fun time. It may not have the tighter emotional core of the first movie, and I do think it maybe jumped into the cosmic franchise heavy side of things a little earlier than it needed to, but the characters are super fun, the animation is gorgeous, the world is full of rewarding details, and the movie moves with enough energy that I was entertained the whole way through. This is absolutely the kind of movie I'd recommend for families, for kids, and especially for anyone who grew up loving Mario games. It's fast, colorful, funny, visually beautiful, and packed with enough ideas and teases to make the future of this franchise really exciting. Thank you for listening to my review of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the video, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego, and I will see you next time.